Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jonathan, and this is Mr. Pearson Talks Books. Today, I want to talk to you about a brand new book called The Second Life of Snap by Erin Entrada Kelly. Now, if you've followed my channel for any time, you know I am a big fan of Erin Entrada Kelly. She's won the Newbery Award for children's literature several times, including for The First State of Being, which I have a review on my channel. Great book. It's a great time travel book set in Y2K time. This book, The Second Life of Snap, is a short dystopian novel. And it's the story of a girl named Zuzu who lives in kind of a refugee camp, I guess would be the best way to describe it. There was some type of disaster that took place in Texas where they lived. And there is now a corporation called Lockwood who controls everything. There's something called the Bountiful, and there are the Dusties. I think I got that right. Anyway, Zuzu and her friends live in a camp called Bright Valley, and they call themselves the Valley Cats. Well, one day, her father, who she calls Beanie, he got fired from his job or let go. For some reason, he doesn't have a job there any longer. And instead of giving him a severance package or giving him money or anything, Lockwood, they decided to give him a robot as a severance package. And so he brings it home, and this robot is a guardian robot. Essentially, its job is to watch Zuzu and keep her out of trouble. Well, she doesn't like that because she and her friends like to get up to different things. They like to go to the salvage yard that they call the Sal, or go to the farmer's market, which sounds like a lovely place, but as you read the book, you realize it's pretty much a Mad Max kind of place where if you're not careful, you could get beat up, you could get robbed, any number of terrible things could happen. Well, one day, Zuzu and her friend Elias, they decide that they want to reprogram the robot. They know they shouldn't, it's against the rules. The Lockwood Corporation has very strict rules about what they can and can't do, but they decide to do it anyway. And when the robot wakes up this second time, it has a whole brand new personality. And even though they were a little suspicious of the robot to begin with, their teacher told them how terrible and bad robots are, they quickly fall in love with Snap as he comes to be known, and he becomes one of their group. And so then the book tells about different adventures that they have as they try to navigate this world that they're in. So here are some good things that I liked about the book. I loved the characters. It was very reminiscent of The Wild Robot, which I really liked. But this this robot became more human than Roz did in The Wild Robot. Also, in The Wild Robot, the robot was interacting with animals who could talk. Here, Snap is interacting with actual children. And I like the world that it was set in, but we'll get to some of the negatives here in a second. And I really liked the way that Zuzu, her character arc changed. So she went from really not liking the robot to falling in love with Snap as the story progressed. Now, some of the weaker sides of this book, at least in my opinion, the book felt unfinished, almost like it was rushed. Now, it is a short book. The copy I had only had about 160 pages, I think. And so there were a lot of things that were introduced that were never resolved. I don't want to say too much, but there is definitely an event in which there are some bicycles involved, and Zuzu is put up for collateral, and in exchange for something happening, he gives them some information. That information never went anywhere. They never did anything with it. There's also an allusion to the people that live in these camps getting ready to do something, hinting that there might be some sort of revolution or change or something. And it really felt like that was unfinished. So I'm hoping that this is the beginning of a series, and so those events will be fleshed out and resolved in later books. Erin Entrada Kelly is a great writer. She seems to have a 2 or 3 books come out every year, and the ones that I have read are absolutely fantastic. This one, like I said, just felt a little short. It felt a little unfinished. Another quibble that I had, and I think this was more to do with the Kindle edition that I read, there were a lot of errors in the book, some grammatical errors, some sentences that were left unfinished. Couldn't really tell what was going on in what was being written. So there were places where there were commas left out. There should have been some periods. Words were left out. Things like that. Nothing to do with the story. Just a quibble I had with the edition that I read. But overall, the Second Life of Snap, fantastic book, really good. I just wish that some of those other elements would have been fleshed out, and it would have made it an even better book. Overall, I gave the story 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, primarily because it was so unfinished, and there were threads that were just left there waiting to be pulled or waiting to be made a part of it. So as I wrap up, The Second Life of Snap by Erin Entrada Kelly, have you read it, and what were your thoughts on it? Do you agree with my assessment, or do you think I'm totally off base? Or another question is, what is your favorite Erin Entrada Kelly book? I will leave a link to my video on The First State of Being if you would like to check that out. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I am so close to hitting 300 subscribers, and I'd really like to reach that threshold soon. And as always, my name is Jonathan. This is Mr. Pearson Talks Books, and I'll see you next time.